Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of October 24th, 2018. So let's get right up into it. I just wanted to say this video is a little late today due to the fact that I had to go to the dentist and get a filling. So earlier I had my problem talking because my mouth was numb. So that's why we're a little late today. So first up though on the pull list is Action Comics number 1004. This gets a shiny metal cover from DC this month. It's a pretty decent cover. Liked it. Bendis has been doing a good job with Action and Superman, so I'm really curious to see where he keeps going with it. Next up is a new number 1 from DC, and that's from the Sandman universe, the Books of Magic number 1. I haven't actually read Books of Magic, so this is going to be kind of my first real dive into the series itself. I have read a little bit of the character from the old Justice League Dark stuff that came out in the New 52, so I'm really curious to see what this book entails. Next up we have Detective Comics number 991. We're almost there, people. 1000 is just around the corner. Robinson continues his Two-Face story in this one, so I'm curious to see how that one winds down, because Tomasi is going to be taking over fairly soon, and I can't wait for his run. Next up, we have Robert Kirkman's Die number 4. The first 3 issues were pretty interesting, so I'm curious to see where this issue takes us. This actually comes in a couple of different versions. There's some other versions that have word bubbles on them that say different things. So I got the one that didn't have word bubbles, but there are other ones out there, so be aware of that. Next up we have Flash number 57. Looks like we got the resurrection of Rogues. We'll see what that entails. But Joshua Williamson has been doing such a fantastic job on Flash. It's just a really solid, good must-read every single time it comes out. Next up we have Justice League Odyssey number 2, and it gets a shiny cover as well. Reminds me of Wildcats number 2, where we had a regular cover and then a shiny cover. The first issue was interesting, so I'm curious to see where this story goes. I know there's been a lot of weirdness with Justice League Odyssey. It was slated to come out around the same time as Justice League Dark and Justice League, but it got basically axed and then redone and new creative teams. So we'll see where this goes. I've enjoyed the first issue, so yeah. Next up we have Old Lady Harley number 1. We were shorted all our regular covers, so this is actually the bear variant, the virgin variant. So yeah, yeah, I'm super stoked for this little mini series, Old Lady Harley. So yeah, we'll see how it is. Next up we have Donny Cates' Redneck number 16. I really liked this series since it came out. So yep, it's basically redneck vampires. Yep, that sums it up. Next up we have Shadow Man number 8. I've enjoyed this run on Shadow Man. When Valiant relaunched it years ago, it was an okay run, and then they renumbered it, and it was garbage. And then they tried to do a miniseries, and it didn't work. This is actually working again for Shadow Man, so I'm really curious to see where they take the character from here. Next up is Star Wars Adventures Tales from Vader's Castle number 4. This is for my son, so yeah. I mean, I like Star Wars, but it's mainly for him. Next up we have The Terrifics number 9. This one got a foil cover treatment, so I've enjoyed The Terrifics. It's been one of the better books from the DC New Age of Heroes, which most of them have just been none of them have been like home runs. Most of them are good to, they're just good at the top of the spectrum. So yeah. Next up we have Titans 28. This is the Drowned Earth prelude, so if you're curious about reading Drowned Earth, you will have need to picked up Justice League from last week as well as Aquaman, and then this week you'll have to pick up Titans. So this is Titans 28. So for those of you that are like, oh, Drowned Earth is out, it's not out yet. We're getting prelude issues and early tie-in issues, and those ones are so far Justice League, Aquaman, and now Titans 28. So yeah, if you have not yet grabbed those, you may want to get down to your shop and see if they still have copies. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 57. It's The Witching Hour Part 4. I've been enjoying the Witching Hour story arc so far, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But the costume is definitely a dope-ass costume. The dark witch version of Wonder Woman is amazing, so I can't wait to see what type of cosplay comes out of it, because it's definitely one that's going to be done. So, and finally on the pull list, we have Exo Manowar number 20. Valiant recently tweeted, where would you tell somebody to start with Valiant books? And I would say go back to the Exo Manowar stuff when Valiant relaunched it, and start from there. That's really good stuff. If you like that, branch out and read some like the Harbingers, Bloodshot, all that stuff. Yeah, that's basically kind of how I let people know how to get into Valiant. You can go back and get this series, but you're going to be missing out on a little bit of history. Valiant has been building a continuity in a world since they've relaunched their titles, and so kind of you don't want to ruin your. I don't think you want to ruin your experience. You can go back and get a lot of that stuff in trade, and definitely check it out. Decent stuff. I did pick up some variants this week, and first one was the Francis Manapool variant for Action 1004. Detective Comics 991 had one, snagged up there. Flash had a pretty cool one, so I grabbed that one. Justice League Odyssey looks like it's going to have a Terry Dodson connecting cover type of variant going forward, so I'm curious to see what that entails. Old Lady Harley had a blank cover, so I decided to snag that one up. Titans had a pretty cool cover with Aqualad on the cover there, or Tempest on the cover. So yeah, Tempest. And then of course that Wonder Woman look I was talking about before. This cover is dark as shit. Like, it's really hard to see anything on this. I don't know if that's a printing error or if that's what they were going for. Still, it looks cool. I did get a graphic novel this week, and that's Batman Detective Comics Rebirth Deluxe Edition Volume 3. This collects 963 through 973 and the annual number 1. I'm not really too happy with the DC's how they're releasing these. The first Deluxe Rebirth had a decent amount of books in it. The second one was smaller, and then now this one is almost even smaller than that. I don't like kind of that. I want a uniformity to my trades, so it's a little annoying that DC is kind of not sticking with a set count in those. But I've been liking the Detective stuff, so I picked it up. Also, this week is Previews. Previews magazine comes out this week. So this one right here, this is issues 362. This is the November 2018 previews for stuff on sale in January 2019. This is the way for you to check to see what you want to get. All types of stuff in here. The main book has virtually all the independent publishers, as well as like merchandise, games, stuff like that. Bunch of Funko Pops. Your store should have a copy if you're that. Hopefully they let you look through, because I don't know why they wouldn't want you to order stuff. But if not, you can go to previewsworld.com and check it out. But you will pick up this Previews here. That's the main Previews. And then DC and Marvel have broken off from Previews, and they do their own. So this is the Marvel Previews, saying, ooh, look, Guardians of the Galaxy is back. So by Donny Cates. Hey, Donny Cates seems to be writing almost everything at Marvel these days. And then there's also the DC Previews here. This one features the Young Justice stuff that's coming out of the Bendis, from Bendis. The odd thing about this DC Previews specifically is the fact that there are titles that are going to have basically 3 books coming out in 1 month. Let me see if I got an example here. No, not that one. DC, before they changed the release of stuff, so because of Christmas, and so they pushed back a whole bunch of stuff. So like Detective Comics is actually, there's 3 issues of Detective Comics coming out in January, which means next month in December we'll only get 1 issue. 991 just came out, so 992 and 992 and 993 will come out in November, and 994 will come out in December, and then in January we're going to get 3 just back to back, and then so February will be 998 and 999, and then March will be the big 1000th issue of Detective Comics. The reason for this, I think, is just because of Flash is getting 3 books. There's a whole list of titles that are basically getting pushed back a little bit. Heroes in Crisis we're not going to get apparently in December. We will get it's weird. We'll get number 2 this month, number 3 in November, but number 4 won't come out until the beginning of December, or January. So we won't get Heroes in Crisis in December. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, so this is basically kind of something that you can look through and pick up. They also have their statues that they're going to be releasing. So this is the Art Germ one. The dog ear means I'm most likely going to order it, and of course there's a Frank Cho Harley coming out that I want to pick up. So yeah, I did get a special order in this week, and that is another one of the DC Bombshells, the Joker's Daughter. This is it right here. I've really enjoyed the Bombshells line. I have a majority of it. I thought this one was going to be a little just based on kind of the initial look of the angle that they took of the photo here, but it actually turns out I opened it up, and it's really nice looking. So hopefully I'll be able to do an unboxing video for you guys and get it up here on the channel. So yep, that's pretty much it for this week. Next week is 5th week, so October has 5 Wednesdays, and it's Halloween, so be sure to get down to your local shop for at least a little bit of comics before you have to go out and take the little ones trick-or-treating. This year, my son is going as Ant-Man, and my daughter is going as Harley Quinn. No, I am not dyeing her hair. She's 5 years old. She can wear 2 ponytails, and I will put different colored hair ties on both of them to signify a different color, but I'm not dyeing her hair, and I'm not going to go get a wig because those things are just annoying to deal with. Maybe when she's older. Maybe. Yeah, hopefully you have a blast going into Halloween this year. I know the next video you'll see me, it will be on Halloween, so it may be a little delayed. Hopefully I'll be able to get it up for you guys before I take the kids out and stuff, but yeah. Oh man, long day. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you're picking up. If you have any questions, comments, all that stuff, be nice on there. Everybody on the internet's just full of trolls and a-holes and stuff. Don't be an a-hole. Don't be a douchebag. But, you know, you can tell me if I'm pronouncing words wrong or names wrong. I don't mind that because I need to be corrected. I'd like to say things properly. So yeah, you can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 373. There'll be a link in the description below for that. We will have an episode next week, but we will not have an episode the week of November 6th, or specifically on November 6th, since it is election night. Yeah, get out and vote. It is very important, especially now, to get out and vote. You can make your voice heard. There's a lot of stuff at stake. Healthcare, basically your well-being, all that stuff is definitely something that's on the table. So yeah, get out and vote. I really wish I lived in a state where there were some other some other races going on, because some of them are really, really neck and neck and really cool, and some of the candidates are really awesome people, and I really, really, but I'm really rooting for them to kind of swing the vote a certain way, because we need some change around here. Yep. Get out and vote November 6th. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the podcast, and you can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and getting product. So thank you very much to all our Patreon backers. You do help out immensely. Yeah. It's great. Thanks, guys. You can help me out more specifically by clicking on any of the Amazon links that I have on conspiratorbrock.com, or any that I have in the links below. That helps me more directly. And you can also visit my eBay store, my eBay page, where I have stuff that I'm purging out of my collection for, and you could buy it if you want it. That helps me out a little more directly. To those that do get stuff through there, thank you. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And I think that's about it. You can follow me on Twitter. Did that. Yeah. I actually didn't really have anything to read this week. Normally I have a graphic novel that I haven't read or something, and I got to a point where I got caught up with everything, and the things that I didn't really want to start yet, I didn't want to really start, or there was stuff I didn't know where I finished off, and I still was missing a trade that I needed to pick up. So I actually went back and I started reading Sandman. Preludes and Nocturnes is the first trade. I blew through this on Monday. It was fantastic, which means Tuesday I blew through Doll's House, which is the second one, which is fantastic. And today on Wednesday, I'm almost done with Dream Country, which is the third volume, which leads me to the fourth volume, which is the one I super enjoy, mainly also because it has my first tattoo is from that story arc. Yeah, so hopefully I can get these done on a decent click. Neil Gaiman's Sandman is just one of those must-read series out there. So if you have not yet checked it out, do. So I've been tempted to do a video on Sandman. So maybe after I read through it, I'll put something together. But we'll see. So yeah, I'll see you next week.